Hey everybody, Chef Yiorgo again. Earlier I showed you how you can use Sonio's famous non-dairy creamy Italian in a marinade using a turkey breast. But now we're going to show you how Uncle Teddy's all-purpose spice, the staminium, can be used on dishes as well. Right here what we have is some freshly chopped green peppers right out of the garden, right over there. And I've covered them lightly in some extra virgin olive oil, really high quality extra virgin olive oil. It's really what you need to be using on your fresh vegetables. The other stuff when you're using frozen or out of a can. We're just going to sprinkle on some of that. And I'm going to mix these up. And that's going to be thrown on the grill here. This super hot grill that I've got just burning up right now, ready to singe and sear the outside of this, because I really want them fresh on the inside. I want them crunchy on the inside, but I want them a little scarred on the outside, almost like searing it. So we'll be back to that in just a minute. Alright, I can't give away the secret as to what we do at the restaurant that makes our sausage so good, but what I will show you are some of the hints and tips that we use on the grill that do make a big difference over a lot of the other people that cook sausage. Well, let me explain what I've done here first, so that before we go throw the meat on. What I did was I started the grill up, and I started this up. I put the main burner, which is normally the hottest burner on any gas-fed or propane-fed range. It's normally the hottest burner, burns the hottest, burns the best. The middle two then take off, and it's just a function of how good those burners are. But anyhow, I've got the first burner on about medium-high. I've got the middle one on high, and I've got the left one on low. That way I have some warm areas. But I did this by closing the cover after lighting it, letting it heat up a lot, and then opening it to cool it to make sure that all the metal on the inside. Sausages every day almost at the restaurant, and the way to do sausage when you're putting it on a grill is to put it right in a line over the same kind of heat. Alright? Also, you want to make sure that you got a little bit of space in between each one of them, not only so that you can grab them with the tongs properly when it comes time, which I'll actually show you a scoop too, but also so the heat can get into the sides of them, and that's also very important. So they've sat on low heat with the cover on for a suitable amount of time, normally about 5 to 15 minutes, depending on the strength and heat of your grill. You move them over to the medium side. Now, why do I have the hot side in the middle? It's because when you're doing heavy loads, sometimes you need to piggyback them on to the sides of a stack like this, and if you have the hot one in the middle, you can kind of spread out your heat a little bit. So the only thing about doing it this way is you have to watch the tips of your sausage, which, you know, sometimes can get a little bit of burn from that ancillary heat there. Now we're going to leave them on the medium flame. We're going to cover them again so that they get a full and well-rounded cook to them. You want to try to flip them every 5 to 8 minutes if you can. So now the next 5 minutes has passed. You can see that we've got a really great burn going on these. They're really starting to cook up. I just flipped them a few minutes ago, but I figured I wouldn't just video the flip. You want to do flip these about every 5 to 8 minutes now. As you can see, they're really starting to sizzle, which means the internal temperature is getting up and it's cooking properly. And the inside of the meat now is kind of stretching the casing, because all these sausages are casing. So now we can actually now start to move them around, get a nice another flip to them. These are really popping over here. I'm going to show you a quick method. You're going to open your tongs wide, hold them vertical up and down, and then with a scooping motion, you can grab 4 or 5 sausages at once, and then turn your hand upside down and release them. And if you get the technique down, you can actually do it with quite little ease, and they even tend to roll right into their own space again. I'm wondering if maybe this one is a little bit too high, and it did seem like maybe the temperature got a little bit better than last time. We're going to throw this fish on here in a second too. Okay, the grill's really fired up right now. We're a little bit more than halfway through the process here for cooking these salsiches. They're looking really good. I moved them over again to the lower side because it was a little bit too hot on that medium side. Got away from me a little bit. And now is actually a good time, about halfway through. We're going to take these green peppers, and they're just absolutely beautiful. We didn't want to do a very lot of them, but right now I'm doing a protein diet. That's it. With that extra virgin olive oil, it's going to burn off real fast, which is going to char the outside of them. And so these, it's very important when you're dealing with them, you're careful because they're covered in oil, so you can get burned up pretty quickly. So make sure you're very careful with it. And what you want to do is you want to let it burn off all that oil, so it's smoking a lot, and the smoke is actually the olive oil that's burning off of the green pepper. Now, if you take a look right now, they're already really getting singed here, and they're cooking quite fast. Hold on. We're cooking quite fast, and we're actually getting pretty close to where we want it to be. Some of these are falling through the cracks here. We're going to put it on the thicker side. And now, if you can see, they're already charred, and they're ready to rock and roll. Now, I don't like my peppers to be steaming hot when I'm eating. Oh, we lost one down there. When I'm eating the sausage with them, so I like to cook them and then let them sit and let them come down a little bit, because when we eat the sausage is going to be so hot coming out of the grill anyways that as soon as anything hits it, it's going to come back to life with some heat. So you always consider all that stuff when you're cooking with vegetables, especially on the grill, because the grill is so much hotter in a particular area than when you're using an oven, that you actually have to count. We're making our final move into the phase here of cooking these. I've got a piece of fish on here that's going to actually be done, so we're going to take it off. And now we've got it on the hot. We're going to cover this, and we're going to let these cook now for about another 5 to 8 more minutes, and this will be the last 5 to 8 minute blast. And then we'll take them off, and we'll cut one in half, and we'll make sure that it's cooked. And from there, we're ready to eat. The billow of steam rising out of the grill is a good indicator now that the fats in the sausage have broken down, and yep, they are rocking and rolling here. We're going to do one final flip. Oh yeah, and see, that's the characteristic char that really makes the sausage, in my opinion, is it that final little touch. So we're just going to flip these over, and we're going to get a little singe on that other side real quick. Peppers look unbelievable, and I wish you could just press your nose right up to the screen and see if you can just smell them. Ugh, the smell. The grill is turned off. The salsicha is done. My fish there, looking and smelling great. This is really a great protein meal. You know, I don't eat the pork very often. I'm not a big pork lover for my source of protein, but it is really, really smells.